You're listening to the Master Passive Income Podcast Network. Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name is Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you get financial independence, quit that JOB, that just over broke job, by investing in real estate so you never ever have to work a job again. And today I'm super pumped to share with you how a Master Passive Income student without knowledge or experience has bought multiple properties and is making money in passive income, and she's going to show you how you can do it as well. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
What's up? Super blessed as always to have you here with me on the show. Now, I got to tell you, I am very, very blessed to now have had my fifth child. My wife had our fifth child. You know, obviously women are the ones that do all the hard work and give birth to the child. And we are blessed now to have our daughter. Now she's 6 weeks old. And I can't remember how long ago that I shared with you that the process of us actually having the baby, where I got a vasectomy and then got a reversal because I felt convicted that it was not the right thing to do. And I'll be completely honest and say God was trying to really smacking me upside my head saying, hey, you need to lead by example and not just be telling your kids they should not do it because you didn't think it was right. You need to lead by example because they know you can get a reversal, but you're not doing it. So fast forward, blessed in 2020 to go get a reversal. And then 2023, my wife gets pregnant. In 2024, we now have our fifth child. Such an amazing blessing. And honestly, 11 years apart from our then youngest to now our newborn, going back into diapers and going back into, wake up in the middle of the nights. Well, my wife does most of the work. In fact, I also have 4 kids, older ones, 16, 14, 13, and 11. I have them change all the diapers. And when this baby starts crying, you're like, hey, come get your sister. But at the same time, it's like riding a bike. People say, oh man, you go from 2 to 3 and it's crazy. I'm like, yeah, it kind of gets to be crazy. And then when you get to 4, it's like, oh man, just throw another one in the mix. Now with number 5, we're so blessed. I mean, children are a blessing from the Lord. So I just got to share that with you. We put a little bit on social media, just a couple pictures of us and the family, not spending too much time on social media with, sharing about the baby, but it was a blessing, or is a very, very huge blessing. And then recently we went to Japan for 2 weeks, which was absolutely amazing. Went to Japan. My dad, sadly, he has stage 4 lung cancer, and we've gone to Japan many times with him. And more than likely, this is going to be his last time ever to go. So we made a surprise trip, or kind of surprise, but like a very quick trip, 2 weeks in Japan. We planned it in about 2 weeks, went about 2 weeks, and it was absolutely amazing. So Japan's tremendous. I put a ton of stuff on social media, like Instagram. You can check me out on Instagram, the Dustin Heiner, where I literally go and just show you the fun things that we did in Japan. Great things that I do. I've been there, goodness, at least 20 times now to Japan. And usually when we go, we add new fun things, but then we also do things that we really, really enjoy doing, like the ramen museum. Like you think, well, top ramen, that can't be that great. Well, no. In actually Japan, ramen is a big thing. It's very, very huge there, and it is absolutely delicious. So we went to a whole museum where there's like a ton of different shops, like 10 different shops from all around Japan. Go there and they create their little restaurant, and you eat all the food. It's tremendous. Also went to Tsukiji Fish Market. That's where it's one of the biggest fish markets in the world, and you get the best fish. There are so many other great things. So anyways, you could check out my Instagram. But here's another great reason why I'm bringing up the social media, on top of obviously everything I just shared. But what's funny is I've been working kind of hard on social media, putting out 3 reels a day, talking about real estate and doing fun memes and all that sort of stuff. I really enjoyed doing the memes. They were actually pretty funny, like some with Ace Ventura. I have other ones with other movies and stuff. It's really, they center around movies and how I could use movies as a way to kind of encourage people to invest in real estate. But I recently posted something, and I'll put the link in the description, Well, all of my reels, even I've been posting 3 a day for last 3 or 4 months. Maybe they get, 1,000, 2,000 people looking at it, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad at all. But I just posted one. It literally took me 3 minutes to create. And this post, it has literally, for me at least, has blown up. I don't know if it's viral yet, quote unquote viral yet, but it's definitely taking off. It's at like almost 300,000 views from different people, 300,000 accounts. And here's the reason why it's actually blowing up. It's not anything I did. It's actually the things that other people are doing. So definitely check the link. Like, click the link in the description and it'll take you to the actual reel that I put up. But the reel is me doing a gainer. It's a backflip where you're jumping off of a platform and you're going face forward, but you're doing a backflip at the same time. I'm doing that off of a boathouse. I think it's a boathouse, like a pontoon boat type thing, when we were at Lake Pleasant here in Arizona. But I'm doing a gainer, and it's a pretty cool looking gainer, I gotta say. But that's not what they're watching, and that's not what they're excited about. Everybody does gainers. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But what I put on there was so, I guess, intriguing to people, or fight worthy is what I should say. And on this reel of me doing a gainer, and it's literally like a 3-second clip, but I put on there what states have the lowest income tax. Income. You make money and you get taxed on that, which is silly. I'm not a big fan. Actually, I hate taxes in general. So I'm posting that, hey, there are states that don't have income tax. I list 6 different states, all having 0 income tax. Well, that's not necessarily the big deal. But here's the big deal. At the very bottom of it, I put, what do you notice about this list? And apparently what people are noticing is very political, and it kind of goes with the, I guess, election year now, and you just had a debate recently. But you have basically all of these states are quote unquote red states, or conservative, Republican, whatever you might call it. So there's all 0% interest. I mean, you got Alaska, you got Tennessee, you got Texas, Florida. It's like they have 0 income tax. And you have people on one side commenting saying, oh, it's because it's not ran by dumb Democrats, or, whatever. And the other side, oh, it's because they're taking money from other states. I mean, they're arguing, and their arguments are just funny to read. But here's the fun thing for me and my account. It's like, blowing up the account. There's like over 2,000 comments of people arguing back and forth. I'm not really arguing. Only thing I'm really saying is, yeah, taxes suck. Like, in general, that's the only thing I'm really saying. And apparently people are fighting back and forth, like, which state is better? Oh my goodness. You got to see it. It's just fun. But I don't have to keep going on that. I just was amazed. That one took me 3 minutes to create, and Instagram's taken off with it. But the other ones that take me like hours to create, lots of other video clips and all that fun stuff to try to make it creative, those get like no views. Anyway, social media's it's a trying thing. But you can find me on the Dustin Heiner at Instagram. TikTok, I'm on there as well, but TikTok is just really silly. Bans me for no reason. Like, all of a sudden getting zero views for, when I used to get like 1,000, 2,000. But whatever. Anyways, I'm super pumped to have one of my students on the show who is doing a phenomenal job investing in real estate. And she, from the very beginning, didn't have any clue on how to invest in real estate, which most students do. Now, we do take students that from no properties, no knowledge of business and everything, to the very end where they have a success in running business. We even take students that have, let's say, 4 or 5 properties, and they want to scale to where they have 20, 30, 40, 100, where they're all automated. We do all that. So that's the main goal, is to get you to be financially independent. And you guys know that my goal is to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. And hopefully you're one of them. Hopefully just from listening to the podcast, you are going to be able to invest in real estate. But let's bring on my student, Katrina, who's going to show us how she is successfully investing in real estate and how you can too. Here we go. Katrina, thank you so much for being here on the Master Passive Income Show.
Thank you for asking me to, inviting me to come.
Absolutely. Yeah. As we've been working together, finding properties and working through how to make sure we find the right properties and buy the right properties, it was just so much fun seeing you go through the entire process, and also having you get the nerves to get it, because it's nerve-wracking. It's scary. So tell us a little, aside from the deal, let's jump really quickly. Who are you, or where are you living, and what do you do normally, and what are your goals for real estate investing?
I live in Virginia. I work in DC for the National Park Service, and I have 25 years in there. And I just want to build this so that way I can also have extra retirement income. Hoping to do this, as much as I can in 10 years is my goal.
That's terrific. And in short order, I mean, we've only been working with each other for maybe 6 months. You already have 2 properties. And I remember you getting that first property and how nerve-wracking it was. So before we get to that deal, I want to ask you about what made you want to take the leap into investing in real estate and rental properties.
I feel like rental properties is like the best thing because you could be on vacation and still get paid. You don't have to put so much time to it. And like you said, there are like so many ways you can make money with rental properties, not just with the cash flow, but with appreciation, depreciation, all that sort of stuff, tax write-offs, everything.
Absolutely. And it's also going to work for you when you are too old to work, and then you can eventually pass it down to your kids. There's just so many fantastic things about real estate rental properties. So let's look at what were you trying to do when you found your first property, or when you started looking to invest before you found me? Did you start looking for properties on your own, or what was the process to actually get you started investing?
So I actually started investing by default. I used to own a rental house, but here in the DC area, and I acquired it through my previous marriage, but then I got divorced, so I had to rent it out. It was horrible. I lost so much money. I didn't follow the 1% rule. The DC, Maryland, Virginia area is just so expensive. So that's why I started looking at properties outside of the DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
And do you still have that property, that first property?
No. Actually, I had to go through a foreclosure, a bankruptcy. So I really started from the bottom and I'm working my way up. Yeah.
So there's definitely many wrong ways to do this business, and there's only a few right ways to do it. So now I'm really glad that you got out of that last property and you went on to, let's talk about now getting your first property. Now, there's a lot of learning involved, right? I mean, you can't just go out and buy a property and just hope that you're going to make money. Talk to us a little about the learning and the things that you needed to do in order to make sure you buy the right property and build the business first.
I was, so what I did was I looked at properties that didn't have as much fixing up to do and that already had tenants in there. And the properties that I found also had the inspection reports there already. And also I have the property managers to consult with about the status of the property.
And you already knew beforehand that you would be making money every single month because you knew your expenses, right? And you knew how much income you should be able to get from that property. Is that correct?
The best that I could, yes.
Awesome. Great. Now, you went through the Ultimate Real Estate Investing System, the course that I put together. I've literally spent hundreds of hours, and plus I'm always updating it to try to help all of my students to actually be successful. You found one way. Now, you use a company that I actually suggested. Which company was that?
Roofstock.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your experience at Roofstock, because I the first time I found Roofstock, I said, you know what, this could be a very good opportunity for us as investors, that we have a lot of the work already done on their end. Now we have to verify, we have to do our due diligence, we have to make sure it's going to be actually, they're not lying to us. But talk to us a little bit about your experience with Roofstock. I
thought it was great because Roofstock, you can search for properties by location, by price. You can even hit the 1% button, so it follows that 1% rule. You could hit turnkey properties, and Roofstock also has the properties already inspected. So the inspection report's in there. And it tells you how much work needs to be done, like a roof or whatever.
Yeah. And I love how, as we're doing our due diligence, we have that as a basis to go off of. Now, I'm going to tell everybody, if you're going to use roofstock.com, you have to do your own inspection, or at least my opinion. Do your own inspection. Don't trust what anybody else is giving you. You want to verify all around. And so if you want to use Roofstock, go through my affiliate link. It's masterpassiveincome.com/Roofstock. It'll let you know that you're one of my students, and they are going to take care of you just like they would take care of me. I've already talked with them, worked with them, And so they are going to help you to find and buy the right properties. Now, Katrina, talk to us about finding an area of the country to invest in, because you're living in Virginia. Is it the DMV? Is that what it's called?
Yes, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
There you go. I actually went through there. We should have tried to connect as I was driving from Florida all the way up to New York City on my 4-week trip. But that's neither here nor there. But you're living in Virginia, which is really, really expensive. Where are you investing? And what was it like finding that new area of the country to invest in?
And I want to pause for a quick second and share that, honestly, I really want you to invest in real estate. Now, my new goal is to help 1 million people invest in real estate. So 2 things I would ask from you. Number 1, if you get anything out of this episode, please share it with somebody else. Just say, hey, check out Dustin and Master Passive Income. He really wants to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to get you to invest in real estate. Get my real estate investing course absolutely for free. Text the word rental, RENTAL, to 33777. Rental to 33777. I'll literally give you my course, show you how to find an area of the country to invest, how to build the business first. I always talk about that, and how to find the right properties, how to make sure you're getting experts to do the work for you, and scale the business to where you're making $250 or more in passive income. Scale it to quit your job. I'll literally get to you, or go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Obviously, it'll be in the description, but I really, really want you to invest in real estate, because the more that actual, normal, everyday people own real estate that are good landlords, the better everybody's life gets.
So the first property I found was in Ohio, Akron, Ohio, and I closed in October. And then I found another one in Tennessee, and I closed in December.
You're a fast mover. So I love it. It's fantastic, because as I'm working with students, the ones that move fast, it really helps you as the student to learn faster, because the longer it takes, you kind of, a lot of my students, they say you start to forget the things that we've already talked about, and they don't implement it. And so you've already moved on to your second one really, really quickly. So when you went to Ohio, was it scary buying that first property, living in Virginia, not ever being to Ohio or Akron, not seeing the property? Was it scary to do that?
Yes, it was very scary. Actually, my first time researching for properties, I talked to wholesalers, before I even found Roofstock. I was talking to so many different people, but I ended up buying from Roofstock. But yes, it was so scary. I had to interview like different property managers, call around. Yeah, it was just a lot of work.
So now the work aside, what about the nerves though? What about, because most people think I have to buy in my backyard where I can literally drive to it. Talk to us about the nerves of getting the ability, or getting the strength, the courage to buy a property in another state.
Yes, that was very scary. And, signing up for your coaching session and emailing you along the way helped me so much. It was very scary, but I just said, you only live once.
I completely agree with that. I specifically remember there was a time my wife and I, Pennsylvania, we were literally in Pennsylvania, and I was getting a couple emails with you, and I could tell like the nerves were, because this is the first property. And as I'm driving through my 4-week trip with the kids and the wife all through the East Coast, we were in Pennsylvania. We were literally in Amish country. We were like at an Amish little town there. And I could tell from your emails, like you're asking me questions. Well, this, and this, like, okay, we just need to have a coaching call, because I need to spend time with you. And so I let the kids go run around the Amish, milking the cows and all that sort of stuff. They had a ton of fun while I was on the phone with you, but I got to walk you through the process, say, okay, now this is the next step, and this is the next step, and okay, you're worried about this, but this is, so I basically got to walk you through the process, which was a lot of fun for me.
I know.
It was great.
It's incredible how fast you respond to my emails too. I know you're busy doing a million things, and it's crazy how it feels like you're right there. So I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
it's something that if I get an email, and I'm always checking my email because I have plenty of students and I want to make sure that they're successful. So I appreciate you saying that. Now, this first property, talk to us about the step-by-step process of, okay, we already know we found it through Roofstock, which is a great company to use, but then what due diligence did you do to make sure that it's a right property, that you're going to be making money, and you have a property manager? Tell us about that whole process.
Well, I used the tools from your link or whatever to put in the numbers And that way I could see how much cash flow, putting the rental income that Roofstock said and the reserve fee and the utilities, that sort of thing. And then I created my own spreadsheet because I was looking at like 10 other properties to see which one I would want. So, but it didn't take that long. I mean,
yeah, the system that I've put together myself is I was realizing I was spending a lot of time analyzing deals, and I had to create a faster and faster way. And so that's what I implemented inside the course was, hey, this is how this is how I save time. This is how I got more efficient analyzing deals. And if you do X, Y, and Z, then you do. And so that's really great. Now, you bought that property and you closed in October. Is that correct?
yes.
So from there, you've already received some rent checks. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes. I had November and December rent.
So how does that feel, getting a check and
I
not
know.
doing any work?
It's amazing. I even went on a cruise, and when I got back from the cruise, I had a check in my bank. So
I love it. That's fantastic. Now you're getting an idea of what I've done. I go travel the world because I can. I don't have to do anything. So here's what was really awesome for me as a coach. I walked you through that first process, or we worked together. We got that first property. And then it was probably like a month later, I get an email from you. Hey, Dustin, I'm already buying my second property. I'm like, what? We didn't even talk about it. Let's get on a call. Let's show me the deal. Let me make sure we're doing everything right. But talk to us about that next property.
the next property went faster than the first one because the first one I was so nervous. Just trying to find the first one. Like I said, calling real estate agents in Ohio, talking to wholesalers. It was a lot of work. Going through Zillow, that sort of thing. So when I found Roofstock, it made it faster. And then finding the second property, I found it again in using Roofstock. So it went a lot faster because I already knew what was going on. And it was crazy because I used a mobile notary. I've never done that. So we just met at the Panera and I did my closing right there at the Panera. Everything was so simple.
That is terrific. I've used a mobile notary so many times, and there are loads and loads of them. And so that's something that, it's really quick and easy. As long as you have a mortgage company that's going to be working with you, they literally say, okay, we'll send the docs to you, and you just pick a time to meet. So let's talk about the financing and getting the funding, because that's a big question for many, many people. How do I get money to buy these properties? So talk to us about that first deal. How much did you buy it for, and how much is it renting for, and how did you get the financing to do it?
So I did the bold move. I guess I might have to open some spreadsheets to remember what I did. But I did a bold move. I took money out of my TSP. Well,
And
I had
what's
to.
the TSP? Not everybody knows what a TSP is.
Thrift Savings Plan. It's the government retirement program that they have. And so I did a bold move and took money out of my TSP. I had to anyway because I owed so much taxes, so I had to pay taxes. And I was thinking, let me just take out more than paying back the taxes and do this bold move and invest in property. So I took a lot out.
And that's something I talk about in my course and actually on my podcast and everywhere, is I literally cashed everything out because I make so much more money, and it's easy money through real estate.
Right. So I took a lot of money out to pay. That's why I also needed to invest in real estate, because I owed taxes, so much taxes for they sent me an audit for 2018 and 2016. So I had to pay that back. So I was tired of having, making too much money and not having enough deductions. So that's why I also needed to do this bold move and invest in real estate. So the first property I bought in Ohio was $65,000, and I put how much did I put down? I put like $16,000 down. No. I put $19,000 down, and
You got a mortgage with it?
yes, it rents for $860.
That sounds fantastic to me. So with this first property, how much is the mortgage payment on this property?
So principal and interest is like $250.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
That's great. And you're renting it for $850, I think you said?
$850. 5860.
Oh my goodness, you're making money hand over fist. Obviously we have other fees like property manager fees and stuff like that, but I bet you're probably clearing at least $300, maybe $350 on that property.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
I
Well,
know.
good for you. I mean, I'm applauding you. I'm so excited for you. Now, let's look at the second property. And getting that second property, I'm so glad that you said it was faster on the second one. And I completely agree that as soon as you buy that first one, the next one comes so much easier because it's just like riding a bike. Once you get it, you're like, oh man, I got it and I can do it. And you're also investing in two different states, which is interesting because most people can't even invest in one other state, so they're like, I want Ohio and Tennessee because they're good properties. So what was the purchase price of the second property?
The second property was 54,000. I put like 16,000 down, and it rents for 750.
Oh man. And people are saying, man, how do I find properties that cheap? I'm like, there are plenty of places in the country that you can find properties that cheap. So you put 16,000 down, you said?
Yes, 16.
And the mortgage is probably what, another $200 a month?
Same thing, yeah.
Oh man. So wouldn't it be amazing? So let's say I'm just giving round numbers. You don't have to tell exactly how much you're making, but let's just round numbers. You're making $300 per property. It's two properties, $600 extra dollars in your pocket every single month. Let's imagine if you had 10 properties. So $300 times 10 properties, that's $3,000 a month. And
exactly.
I mean, isn't it just like, man, how do I get more of these?
I know. It's crazy. I love it. It's crazy. I'm ready for more. Yes. So I just followed your instructions. I followed the video to the T. When you said open that savings builder account with Citibank, I did that. And when you said this is how you open the LLC in Wyoming, I did that too. I mean, I just followed your video step by step. I did everything, I wouldn't have had the nerve to do what I did if I didn't register for your video, your coaching, that sort of thing. So I just went all in.
That's awesome. And that's how I designed the course. It's a step-by-step thing because that's really what it comes down to. It's both an art and a science, but it's more of a science. If you just do X, Y, and Z, you're going to get there. There are some things when it comes to like being an art, meaning finding the right deals, working with sellers. That's a little more of an art. But yeah, so I'm really glad that you said that. That makes me feel happy that the step-by-step process is working, and you're one of many students that have actually worked for.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now that we already have two, my wife was like, okay, you already have 2 or 3 properties. Let's settle down. Let's wait until these kind of settle out. But when's your next purchase, or what are you looking for your next property?
So my next property, I need to come up with more of a down payment. So I'm going to wait a little bit to build that up using the profit I made from the other properties to come up with the down for that.
That's perfect. And what I would suggest is continue, and I know you're doing this, but continue, for everybody listening, I'm going to say this, continue looking for deals because you never know when a good deal, not just Roofstock, use Zillow, use Craigslist in the areas that you already are investing because you have a property manager, you already have the business built up, you already know about that area. So keep looking for properties because you never know. You might find a property that you might only need to put like $5,000 down, $3,000 down. You never know what kind of deal comes up. I'll give you an example. One of my students, I'm actually going to be interviewing him in the next, hopefully relatively next few weeks. So his first property he's already bought. He's done that. He's making like $350 a month, which is fantastic. His second property, he actually found it's worth $95,000. It's an old man who's selling his parents' house. So he's like 70, but he's selling his parents' house. They're like 95. And so he's buying off of them for $50,000. He's getting a hard money loan. He is literally paying no money out of his pocket because it's a hard money loan. It's worth $95,000. He's taking out $75,000 or $75,000.
Wow.
And so he's pocketing like $15,000. So do not stop looking for deals. Constantly be looking for deals because you never know what's going to come up. Not all deals are going to be the same. So you want to constantly be looking for properties. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Actually, it also helps getting on the email list from the wholesalers because they send you deals all the time.
I love waking up in the morning, drinking my coffee, looking at deals because I didn't do any work. All the wholesalers did all the work. And that's something that a lot of people, when I show them how to find wholesalers, they're like, oh, wow, light bulb pops on. Wow, that's how you find wholesalers? Okay, let me go ahead and do that. So absolutely, I love wholesalers. I love realtors. In fact, I just love a good deal. When it is a good deal, I don't care if it's through a realtor, a wholesaler, an investor, friend, whatever. If it's a good deal, it's a good deal. So let's jump on it. Now, talk to us a little bit about the coaching process. How did that help you get to that first step and then move on to where you have the second step of getting the next property?
So I just followed your videos, and then when I was bold enough to make my move, I signed up for your coaching, which was probably to me the most helpful because it felt like you were right there through the whole thing.
Awesome.
I was emailing you so much. I mean, even just deciding on a property, I was like, yeah, it's crazy. I feel bad now for
no. Don't feel bad. In fact, what I'm thinking, okay, so you have it with just one property, that's $300 a month. I mean, in 1 year, that is, what is that? That's $3,600 in 1 year for one property. You just make so much more money. And so working with me, my goal is to, number one, save you money and make you money. And that's what we did. So, and getting those emails, that's almost like my love language. And I get an email like, oh, somebody loves me, let me reply. And that's something I have to reply. It's in me. And so I have had some coaching students say, well, how quickly are you going to be able to respond? Which is a fantastic question. I completely agree. When we're working with property managers, if they're not responding within 24 hours, you fire them right away. In fact, I'm going to get on a coaching call later today with one of my students. He's having a little bit of issues with his first property manager. And so I'm working with him to see what we need to do to move on. But long story short, the turnaround time on communication, that's something that I just pride myself on, is because everything for me, as I'm looking at you personally going through, Katrina, going through the process, I see the time frame. I see it. Some things can take longer. Some things should take longer. I don't need to respond right away, but I know by putting myself in your shoes, you're nervous. You're like, what's going on? And so I'm like, I got to get answers right away. We got to jump on a call right away. In fact, one of my students, we're literally going to get a call. I got an email from him, like 2 or 3 emails back to back, like in maybe 3 minutes. And he was like, what about this? What about this? What about this? I was like, let's just jump on a call because I want to make sure you're 100% set. So I really appreciate that. Now, Katrina, you've been fantastic. I really, really appreciate your time and being able to just share with everybody that we're just normal people. We're just normal people living our lives and realizing that there's a way to change our lives and make money as opposed to working an hour, getting paid one time, getting paid over and over again. So do you have anything else you'd like to share?
No, you were fantastic too. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
And that is it for today. Go ahead and get my free real estate investing course. Text the word rental to 33777. RENTAL to 33777. You can also join my Real Estate Wealth Builders group coaching. Get all my courses. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next show. See ya.